I sadly cannot be excited about my Bulls today. It's the first time in a couple days. It sucks. They got their asses handed to them last night.
They did.
Miami came out and played like the desperate team, the better team, and when the score was all said and done, it proved all of that.
Ray Allen, 21 points. A nice game.
Miami
His best
won
game of the postseason.
Miami won by 37, and LeBron didn't even score in the second half.
Yeah, no.
Like, that tells you how the games went.
I mean, the one thing the Bulls had on their mind is they were going to
Pixel says the Bulls were hosed. I don't think they were hosed. I just think got their asses handed to them.
They made a concerted effort to knock LeBron around as much as possible. 9 technical fouls all total. Taj Gibson, Jacquin Noah tossed out of the game. So obviously if they're going down swinging. Literally, figuratively, whatever you want to call it. But listen, in the end, Derrick Rose being out is one thing. Luol Deng being out's another. You know, even with them in, Chicago would have a tough time. You know, with the Heat, both teams at full strength. With them out, though, Heat had their way with them. Even though it was an amazing game one, I'll give you that.
I was very proud of my Bulls
in
in game one.
Game. And I was listening to Boomer Carton this morning, and apparently, I mean, you could take this for what it's worth. Apparently, the rumors are going strong in Chicago. Derrick Rose may play on Game 3, and I'm interested in your opinion on it at this point, because I've listened to a bunch of people talk about it, and there is the attitude that if Derrick Rose comes back at this point, don't you think that may wind up hurting the Bulls' on-court chemistry? The way it's been going, they've played well with the team mentality so far. Do you think it would almost hurt their chemistry if he comes back right now?
I don't actually think it would hurt their chemistry just for the fact that they don't run. The way Chicago's offense works is they run their set plays, and when Rose is 100% healthy, what they would do is they'd run their set plays, and if by like the 10-second mark they couldn't get to where they wanted to be in their set play, it went to Rose in isolation. That's what kills this offense. When they run their set plays and they can't get to it, they don't have that guy to give the ball and let him run isolation. Mm-hmm. And they have Nate Robinson. As a Bulls fan, I respect and appreciate everything that man has done for this team so far in the playoffs and throughout the year. I do. But he's no Derrick Rose. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he can ISO against Ray Allen, but he's not ISOing against Dwayne Wade.
That had nothing to do with last night, though.
No, but I'm just saying, like, in general, he asked me if Rose coming back would affect their chemistry, and I don't think it would. I think the biggest problem if Rose comes back in this series is the fact that this series is only going to get more and more physical. If he's having confidence issues playing with his teammates in practice who aren't trying to hurt him and bang him around, what do you think he's going to be like on the court the first time he catches an elbow in the chest from Chris Anderson trying to drive to the hole? Or LeBron bodies him. I mean, that is
What's going to happen when it's the first time next year when somebody does that to him?
Yeah, but at least then he would know he's fully recovered from the injury.
Doctors have already said for 2 months now. He's more than 2 months. I'm sorry. More than 2 months that he's fully recovered from this injury. There's nothing 6 more months is going to do for him that right now isn't doing. He's practicing full-on 5-on-5, full court with his team. He's conditioned. He's been doing it for months. He warms up pregame, goes back and puts on his nice little suit. He's ready to go. It's all mental with him. There's nothing physically holding this man back. It's his mental capability. And mentally, I don't think he wants to be there. And I don't think he plays at all in this series. I don't think he plays at all. They're throwing it out there for everybody.
I don't think he plays at all this series either. But I don't believe any real, if he's been cleared for 2 months and he hasn't come back, I think somewhere along the line, if he comes back too soon, he's going to wind up re-injuring it. And I think that's the worry right now. That's what I think a few more months of rest would do. Because at this point, if he's not back, I have to believe someone is telling him, if you come back right now, you're medically cleared, but you're going to re-aggravate the injury.
It's not a hamstring where you can, re-aggravate it. You tore muscles.
That obviously are not
entirely
entirely
ligaments,
healed
I'm sorry, in your knee.
Mm-hmm.
They healed. Doctors say they
Something
healed.
has to be unstable, though. What
His
you're saying-
mind is unstable.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
what's
his
unstable.
mind, man. He says
there's nothing
muscle
physically
memory,
wrong with this man.
He says muscle memory is one of the reasons. He said, it's all mental for him right now. It is not physical. And if it is physical, then nothing's come out that says it's physical, because everything that I've heard,
hasn't
read,
had
and
setbacks.
that he's actually said is all contributed to things that take place in your mind. Has nothing to do with your physical body. When he first was due back after the All-Star break, that's the only time I heard anything physical, and that was he kept saying that after practice he felt like his hamstrings were burning and they were scared that he might tear a hamstring, so they toned it down a little bit. That was the only thing physical I heard, and that was all the way back in the second or third week of February. So, I mean, that's the only physical I've heard when it comes down to Rose. I mean, if you've heard
But
something
even
different,
with Rose, it
I
wouldn't
just
have
haven't.
helped them in a game like last night. Their shooting performance is what hurt them last night, and them not playing the defense they can normally play on Miami hurt them. When Miami shoots 7 of 12, 5 of 10, 7 of 11, 4 for 8, 1 for 1, 7 for 9, 5 for 7, 2 for 2, 1 for 3, 1 for 2, 2 for 3. Everybody's 500 or better, except for one guy that was 1 for 3.
Yeah, that's a pretty damn good team shooting
You're not-
percentage
you-
against a
you're
team
not-
that plays really good defense.
Against a team that plays really good defense. Miami played the better defense last night. Chicago shot 4 of 13, 3 of 10, 3 of 7, 3 of 8, 3 of 9, 0 for 6, 3 for 10, 0 for 3. Before you finally get to somebody who shoots over 50% at 4 for 6. And then another guy shot 3 for 4. That's it. But I rattled off all those numbers. Their shooting wasn't there and their defense wasn't there. It didn't seem like the Bulls were there last night, because normally they play a lot better defense than that, and they definitely shoot a higher percentage than what they shot last night. So I credit Miami's defense, and I kind of shake my head at the Bulls and say, listen, I thought you would have came out with a little more fire than that. I thought you would have came out and gave a better performance.
See, I think they had the wrong fire. I think they had the "we want to attack you physically" fire instead of the "we want to beat you" fire.
Yeah.
I think that's. I mean, this sums up the game. Heat led 42-38 with 3 minutes and 42 seconds left in the first half, and went on a 62-20 run. There's your game, right there. LeBron
Is
didn't
that
even.
62-20 run? 62-20 run, is that a better, or, well, obviously it's a bigger run, but is it a better run than the Knicks' 36-4 run the other night?
To me, these series remind me of each other. They're very similar right now.
What do you think, Mike? I mean, Knicks did go on a 36-4 run the other night. Miami goes on that big run last night. What do you think? I mean,
What's more impressive?
yeah, which run to you is more impressive?
Honestly, I'm going to go with the Knick run just because I feel like I kind of expect the Heat to do things like that, with no disrespect to the Bulls. But when the Bulls pound them as much as they did in Game 1, you almost kind of expect a team with the superstar caliber talent that the Heat have to come out and do something like that. I really did not expect a run like the Knicks did against the Pacers a couple days ago. So I got to go with that one.
And Dave, Pixel threw it in the chat, but did the Bulls really get 9 technicals? I thought the
No,
Bulls got 6.
there's 9 technicals in the game.
Yeah,
6
Bulls-
for Chicago, 3 for Miami.
And Gibson and Noah were the ones
Each
that
got
tossed.
2, yeah, and they got tossed. And, one thing, look, when it comes down to how physical they played, and I know, Eric, me and you have talked about this numerous different times, I love when basketball gets like this. I love when the teams hate each other. I love when it gets physical. Now, do I want to see technicals out the yin-yang and guys getting kicked out of games? No. But playoff basketball, one of the biggest things that that I at least know I hawked on last year, and Pixel, you were with me on this one, we hawked on these referees for not letting these guys play the game of basketball the way it's meant to be played in the playoffs. Now, I think the refs did let it get a tad bit out of hand last night. But I have no problem with this physical basketball. I have no problem with guys getting mad at each other and getting into each other's faces. But the refs need to be smarter with the technical fouls. They need to do a better job of controlling what the players can do. And in terms of if you knock a guy to the ground and purposely do it, it's a foul. If you knock a guy to the ground and purposely do it and you don't call a foul, that's a problem. All I know, though, one way or another, is this series is only going to get more physical. Now, does it get as angry as it got last night with the all the tees and everything? I don't know about that. But the physical play is not going to stop. And if as a Bulls fan, I like that because that means we're getting Miami to play our style of game. Or should I say the Bulls style of play. Chicago knows they can't score with Miami. But they know that they can beat up on Miami and go at them. I like that. And like I put in our chat room, bottom line is, if you're a Bulls fan, you know what you care about right now? You're leaving Miami with home court advantage. You took 1 out of 2 in Miami. Just like how we talked about yesterday. Even though the Knicks dominated Indiana in Game 2, Indiana still was leaving New York happier than New York was because they got 1 out of 2 games in New York. And as a road team in a playoff series, that's your first goal. Let's steal one of the first 2 on their home court and get back to our home court with a 1-1 series.